I'm BCU, 220 owner of the Packers, and again, what a shit show. We finished 2-14 this year. My goals this beginning of the season was to make the playoffs, and obviously was not even close to that. I mean, I had confidence going into the season. I got a really good roster, but again, that just didn't pan out the way I thought it would pan out. Let's go to my schedule here and kind of break down. I wrote a few notes while I was watching some of those games last night, and boy, it was some good ass games, man. Congratulations to the Broncos and Giants, Hen and Rude, for winning y'all wild card rounds. But if I get into these breakdowns, first game of the season against Geronimo, really good user. Couldn't get anything going offensively. Defensively, we just kind of just sucked. Jimmy G threw 300 yards on us. I picked him off twice, but you can't. Look at this. Jordan Love, one touchdown, 2 interceptions. Just wasn't moving the ball well. Not even on the ground. It just ended up being one of those games where it was, whoever had the ball last was gonna win. Bucks, obviously, really good user. Trampled me. So did Cool. I started off pretty bad. 5 in a row. I got my ass kicked, and then I finally got a force win, and then I went into a bye, and it just went all downhill from there. My only other win this year was against Panthers, so I would say I just had one win this year. If you kind of look at the games, I mean, outside of a select few, I was kind of in those games for a while, and then I guess it just escalated to a point where I couldn't recover from it, but a good thing about this league is a lot of you guys give advice. I ain't gonna say any names, but I've played pretty much everybody in the league now, at least once or twice, and after every game I get a little bit of advice from somebody, and I use it if I can use it, and if not, it's something that I table and I come back to it if I need to. Get into this division. This is my division, and I wanted to be here. I still want to be here. These 3 guys are gonna make me better. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep getting my ass kicked. I gotta progressively get better in this division. It's not gonna be any easy wins. I would say Cruel is probably the best player in the league, best player in this division. He's pretty good too. And so is Wendy. All of them have their different styles of play. I'm still trying to find mine. He started off 0-4, and he lost to the Hook, the Panthers, and ended up 9-7. So me starting 0-5 isn't really an excuse for me to just kind of give up and let go, seeing that Wendy could actually get to 9-7 and actually have a chance to make the playoffs. So, well, I mean, obviously he didn't make it, but he had it. He keeps playing until he's winning. Keep playing, and you never know. You might get a couple of losses from a team, and it might put you back into it. So that's my division breakdown. So I was gonna do some stats here. Jordan Love has grown on me. I didn't really like him in the beginning. I was really I was really against shout out VD. Thanks, man. Jordan Love is a quarterback that I just really didn't have any confidence in coming into. I really wanted to play with Rodgers, but everybody egged me on. Just, hey, get Jordan Love right. Make sure he's good. Get him some abilities, and trust me, you're going to like it in the long run. I do. I really do. I like Jordan Love. He's my quarterback. I don't know how he's going to be on Madden 22. But for the most part, this is my guy. This is the guy I'm going to be rolling with for the end of the cycle. If we go 6 or 7 seasons, he's still going to be here. I won't trade him. It's really hard to find a good quarterback in leagues like this, and it's really hard to develop them with the stupid development games that they get. 3 touchdowns, 300 yards, no interceptions. It's really hard with the ball hawks in our league. But, I'm going to keep trying for them as long as I keep getting them, and, and I'm never going to give up on that. As far as my rushing game, it was pretty good. I mean, I got a 1,000-yard rusher. He had 9 TDs, 1 fumble. Mac was my backup. When Zach went down, he basically kind of just filled in. He almost got 300 yards, 5 TDs, couple fumbles. The one thing I say about Jordan Love is he just does not like to hold on to the ball. I mean, they're arm tackles and he's fumbling. Not really a speedy guy for the most part, but he can get out the pocket and get a couple of yards if I need him to. I just need to slide. So, yeah, that's my breakdown of the rushing game and the receiving. I mean, these guys are all balling. Most of my whole team has caught over 50 balls, with the exception of Chris Olave, catching 46. He's a big play player. I really need to incorporate him more. He really should be getting 100 catches a year. So is Vaughn. I really want to work on Alberto, but I got screwed out of a couple of development years. Seeing that they bunch in the tight ends now with the wide receivers. At least I think that's what's going on. So, yeah, with that. And then Kayshawn, rookie. I'm not going to win Rookie of the Year, but he had a hell of a season. 5 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. He averaged 18 yards a catch. Just a really good pick. I think I picked him in the first round. He was still there, and I just needed to go and get him. I needed to get some firepower on his offense. It's probably the weakest part of my game. All these guys are capable of the big play. These 4 here. So yeah, let's get to some defense now. My defense, I'll say this. Everybody, they always joke with me about how my defense ain't whatever, because I keep getting blown out. But my defense, they get turnovers, man. Like, they just do. Like, I mean, it might not be forced fumbles, but look, Stearns 8 interceptions, Jair 6, Stingley 5, even with his superstar abilities being some bull punt return crap. Even my safeties and my project Anthony. Anthony's a good project for me right now. 3 interceptions towards the end of the year. He had a pick 6, I believe, too. Really good, speedy, got good man coverage. But yeah, like my defense, they get turnovers. I mean, in the sack category, I'm probably nowhere near the top. Kenny Clark only had 4.5. Preston still chugging along, got 4. Olivier, I picked him up in the off-season. Also him. And then Byrd, last game of the season, he had a development game. He got that. So I'm going to be going through their ratings in a little bit. Just kind of, do a roster breakdown. But these are more like stats. By far, best defensive player is Dylan Moses, or Moses, however you say that. 66 solo, 65 assists, 131 total. I'm really bad with linebacker development. I've always been really keen to DB play and D-line play. I really didn't focus too much on my linebackers this year, and it kind of showed. I was getting trampled over, and it just was tough. It was just tough. The tough season all the way around for my linebacking core. But next year we're gonna try to buckle down and see if we can get a couple dev games for those boys, and see if we can get some abilities on that linebacker in that second level. I got a bunch of abilities on my 3rd level, which is the DBs, and a couple of D linemen with some abilities, but I have no linebackers. And I'm not counting Judon or Olivier because they won't be here next year. Alright, so I guess, you know, this league is stacked full of great talent, and if you're not progressive, progressively getting better, then you're progressively getting left behind. You're gonna be at the end of the pack. Everybody's talking a little smack every now and then, and trying to get in your head, and if you let it get in your head, it's gonna eat away at you, and it's gonna make you a terrible Madden player. And I've let that bother me for a long time now, and I'm done with that. I'm just gonna go out there and try to play my game, and try to win some games. I've been setting my goals so low. I think maybe it's time to just set them high and see where I end up. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get into this roster breakdown. Okay, so offense. You know what? I'm gonna do defense first because I'm really peeved with my offense right now. Let's get to defense. Let's just do defense first. Alright, so my defense, you can see I got abilities with Clark, Jair Alexander, and Stingley. It does not matter with Stingley's abilities. He is getting just destroyed. He has the right requirements now. Last year I just lost out on Buzzsaw because his man coverage was too low, but I made sure that I emphasized that this year, and made sure that he's going to get that ability change, and then I will not be trading him. As far as trading people on this defense, it's just not going to happen. I built this defense from scratch. I really had not a lot to work with. The way that the Packers set up in this 4-3, it has your 2 outside linebackers rushing most of the time, and I'm okay with that for the most part. But a lot of these guys come out in these gun sets, trips to the left, trips to the right, shotgun looks, and it just doesn't work for my base defense. I don't have the fast enough linebackers to do that. So I think this year we're going to go and switch to 3-4. And I put in a request to get Byrd moved to DN. That way I can keep Preston, put Preston down there on the DN too, and line them up next to each other and see if I can get some pressure. I think one of the biggest issues that I had this year was just not getting enough pressure. I had guys, getting out of the pocket, running back and forth before anybody can get to them. The coverage back there was always good, but if I can't get anybody getting to the quarterback, then it's all for naught, and I make my DBs look stupid. And that's pretty much, I think, what really happened this year. I picked Solomon Byrd last year in the draft. I think he was a 2nd round pick for me. Really good player, young, tall, not really fast, but he's a rusher, man. Look at those finesse moves. His strength isn't as high as I want it to be, but to be quick and be a speed rusher, you can just get around. And that acceleration being 90, I think I got something here with this guy, being switched to DN. I like Blaze Aldridge. I picked him up in free agency when he was 22, and this is what it shows. I'm not really good at developing linebackers. 88 speed. Anybody would kill to have this guy on their roster with 88 speed, and he'd probably be a 90 by now. But I'm not keen with linebackers yet. I think that was my first dev game that I got for a linebacker outside of Preston Smith. But I haven't got any dev games for any of these linebackers except Byrd. Kenny Clark is just a monster. He's consistently, he's played consistently the last 4 seasons. He's averaged, I think, 5 or 6 sacks a season. I just hate to see him down there and keep losing. I really want to win, for him, because he's just stuck it out and got his big contract, and I just can't put it together for wins. You know, I got Jai here. He just hit 99. A dog. I keep getting asked to trade him, but I'm just not. I do not want to part ways with Jair. He's just a dog, man. You know, a lot of guys don't even throw his way most of the game, and you know, it cuts off the side of the field for me, and I have to capitalize on that. But you know, I just don't see myself parting ways with him, not even for the biggest deal ever. I feel like I'm kind of done developing players out of the draft at this point. I really want to work on these guys. This guy right here is my boy right here. Caden Stearns, 24 years old, star development, 8 interceptions this year. He's a dog. His zone could be a little bit higher. I don't really too much care about his speed. He's usually playing deep mid, or you know, playing that zone cover 2 back there and just helping out back there, you know. But he's my guy. He's one of the guys I really want to develop and turn into a superstar. Get him some abilities, and he can help me out there in that secondary in this passing league. Tap I picked up in free agency. I don't know who dropped him, but he balled out for me this year. He was a big hitter, run support guy, obviously. You can see the morals down just because of the losing. But you know, you think you run a few games together, and you know, that moral can go up, and you know, you're looking at a whole different ball club. And that's pretty much my overview for the defense. I'm not gonna make any serious changes. Martin, he's expendable. I got a 2nd round pick, no first this year. Obviously, I gave it to GE. Hopefully he gets good off of that, you know. But Martin is probably the only what if I have in that on my linebacker, on my defense. I would say Blake too. But other than that, we're going to try to build through free agency. We're going to lose about 10 players this year, most of which is defense. Like I said, Olivier Vernon is not returning. Judah won't return. And Garvin won't be back either. And I think there's one more DB. Sheldon's hurt, so it doesn't really matter. Scott. Yeah, Scott I use a lot at linebacker. But alright, let's get to this offense. Again, I gave you guys the breakdown of Jordan Love. Jordan Love's the dog. He's a pretty good quarterback. I mean, he throws a lot of interceptions, but who cares? Interceptions don't matter anyway. I've been working on him pretty much all for 4 straight seasons. He's got his abilities. Quick draw and Roman Deadeye. Didn't really get to use a lot of that this year. It was brutal. Meaning that you know, he was running for his life pretty much all game. And with the ball hawks that we have in this league, it's just, he's not one of those quarterbacks who's going to fit that, you know, tight spiral in that tight hole. Pause. But, you know, he gets it done. You know, his deep ball is really good. He can put it on the money, you know, if the guy is running his routes right. But yeah, again, that's my quarterback. I won't be trading him. He's going to be sticking around. As far as my offensive line goes, it's expendable, man. Like, our offensive lines are so hard to develop in any Madden league I've been in. It doesn't matter if you turn up the XP all the way. Offensive line is terribly hard to develop. So I picked up a bunch of guys in free agency overall as a 71 or above, and I started them, and they did well. I mean, I don't know how many sacks I gave up this year. I can go there and look in a little bit, but I feel like these guys did a good job protecting Jordan Love. You know, I'll get to why I feel like I was getting my ass kicked a lot this year, but for the most part, I won't blame it on my offensive line. Now, for my wide receivers, I got some dogs at wide receivers. Tyler Vaughn's probably would be the equivalent to my safety net. The guy is just good. His route running is really good. Everything's in the mid to high 80s. You know, you can see the medium rise at 92, 93 if the moral is up. Speed, like I said, speed. Jumping's not really good, but again, he's not my jump ball guy. He's not going to be a jump ball guy. He's the guy that gets you a first down He's the guy to get you 3 or 4 yards if you need it. You can run him off screens. You can run him on reverses. Play action. He's really good in play action. His release isn't that good, so he's not going to be the greatest deep route runner, even though it's at 88. Trust me, I know. I've been with him for 2 years. Kayshawn, I'm going to call him KB. Great pick for me. I know a lot of guys said that was a dumb pick, but I thought it was a great pick. He's a work in progress. His jumping is crazy. If I can get his route running up, everything in the mid 80s, high 80s, he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Already at 95 speed, and he's only 22. 6 feet, 195. He's just got the burners, man. I've seen him burn some of the best DBs in this league. The thing about, Kayshawn is getting him touches. He usually plays my slot, but I try to move him around and try to get him in space, because again, he can catch it and get the burners. I don't throw a lot of jump balls to Kayshawn. I don't really trust him that well yet, being he was a rookie, but this is his 2nd year, so I think I'm gonna try to feed him a little bit more and get him involved with this offense. And then my boy Ole, 24 years old, 6'1", 193. Dog. Every route running, route short, medium, deep, 90s, catching traffic 80, catching 91, speed 98. You will probably be the taller version of Tyreek Hill. I don't want to, shade Tyreek Hill. He's nowhere near him, but I think a lot of guys would take, Chris Olave if they couldn't get Tyreek Hill. Again, he's not tradable. I won't trade him. He's just too good at wide receiver. It says he's the 30th ranked wide receiver in the league. Now that speaks volumes, guys. 30th ranked. He's 90 overall, 98 speed, and all his route running is in the 90s. And he's the 30th ranked wide receiver in the league based off his rating. So it speaks a lot. So if you're out there listening and you're not a part of 220 Reloaded, this is my boy, and there's 30 other wide receivers that are better than him. Abilities, you got to double them. You got the mid elite, deep out elite. He's a dog. You know what I mean? Olave usually gets 1,000 yards. He's a 1,000-yard receiver every year for the most part. But I feel like I feed him too much. I don't want him to get hurt, and I don't want him to be out for a season, because he's a big part of my offense. He takes the top off the offense. Makes people retreat. Backpedal and stuff. A lot of guys, send me messages after games and be like, man, is he for sale? Nah, he's not. He's just not. I got him here for a reason. He's gonna stay. He's gonna die here. And like BB used to tell me, he's gonna die a loser. Yeah, that's Chris Olave. Running backs, I picked 3 this draft. That was dumb. I could have got better at different kind of positions. But I picked Zach. And on his first attribute upgrade, he got a speed upgrade, hiking him 2 speed upgrades, hiking him up to 93. This guy's a beast, man. Breaking tackles, his acceleration is phenomenal, agility too, trucking. He's an all-around back. You can play him at 3rd down back. You can play him at power back. You can just get him out there to gain you a couple yards if you need it. I need to trust him more. I need to develop him a little bit more. I ran the ball a lot, but I think, switching it up, throwing it some and running it some, getting him incorporated with the offense with some catches. I think he had 40 yards, 15, 20 catches this year. Doing what he's supposed to do for the most part. He's a really good back. I'm happy that I have him, and hopefully he can produce again next year on that kind of level. Again, he was 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 fumble. You can't ask for more out of the running back position, and he gave that to me. Zach Evans, man. Tight end, Alberto, man. He's my only tight end. He's the one tight end I like to go to a lot. He's a big guy, speedy. I think he's at 89 speed now, or 88 speed. 88 speed. Not really good route running, but the guy can get into space and just sit down. You know, if you throw it to him and he's open, he's gonna catch it. He never drops anything for the most part. He's a great blocking tight end too. Even though it doesn't show, he can block pretty well. I always have him blocking for me. If I don't use him, then I use Sternberg to block. Even Breland, he's a good blocker. But I usually keep Alberto out there to help. That's pretty much the breakdown. I'm not going to get into fullback or anything like that. I'm not going to go past the second string. Just showing the overview of my roster and, you know, things that went well, things that didn't go well with some of these guys. But, you know, again, I have potential to be good. I just need to be good, you know, and, you know, make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's, man. Alright, so we're getting towards the end of this video. I guess realistically what I kind of wanted to get into with this was why I lost so much. It's like I'm not that great of a user. Never have been. I started Madden back in 17. I didn't get in here until like 18, I believe, or 19. And that was towards 19, towards the end. And there's some dogs in this league, and you got to play at your A game. Otherwise, you're gonna get trampled by some of these guys. I like the NFC North. I don't want to lead the NFC North. I feel like Feds will kick me out at some point to get back to the Packers. Throw me back over there in varsity and watch me die slowly. But you know, for the Packers, again, 2-14. I want to be better. I got to be better. I need to do better. I need to score some points. I really feel like the big thing for us this year will be scoring points. I do not care if we give up points. We want to score points. I don't think I've ever averaged over 25 points a game in a season, and it is terrible. That's just terrible. It's not. Some you guys score with ease, man, and I scored, let's see, points per, I scored 24.4 points a game. That's just not gonna get it done. It's just not. It's you know, I try to pride myself off defense and running the ball, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me, and I need to change it up. I need to either get a new playbook, I need to go back to the drawing board and fix everything. Otherwise, I'm just going to be standing still and just losing every time. So I'm going to get back in the lab, maybe draw up another playbook, start this season off new, season 5, and, you know, hopefully, you know, get some wins, man. You know, try to keep the confidence high, the shit talking down. And beat these guys that, you know, I should beat, and try to give these guys that I can't, you know, I shouldn't be able to beat the game of their lives. You know, a lot of these guys go in with these cocky mentalities playing me. I know some guys who start their second string just to play me, and that sucks. You know, it's real, like a really demoralizing thing, you know, when they're starting their second string against me, or they're taking out their players because they know this is going to be an easy win. I'm kind of sick of it. But I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm just going to keep playing. I'm going to keep on trucking along. You just look at this. Damn. Points allowed. 638 points allowed. That's, damn. That's terrible, man. That is terrible. Shit. Anyways, I'm BCU. Thanks for tuning in to the breakdown. Good luck to everybody in the playoffs. You know, hopefully we can get through this fast so we can get this draft rolling and this season rolling again. I'm ready to play. I'll give another breakdown maybe in the off season after the draft, looking at what we got and seeing what we got out of the draft, free agency and whatever. Shout out 220, greatest Madden league ever. I'm out, man. It's your boy BCU.